Hello, fellow time travelers. Yes, we are all moving forward in time, so we're time traveling technically. Um, in the last video, I talked to you about the governor's palace in Uxmal, and I said that there was a little town at the base. If you look at the image on the left, I said there was an image, a little town on the, excuse me, at the base of the governor's palace, just like there's a little town at the base of the temple of the Dalai Lama in Lhasa. And what I didn't say is that inside that little red thing on the left, in the picture on the left, that's where the little village is. That I didn't see any stairs, at least no stairs that were accessible by the public. I didn't see any stairs that led down there. You'd kind of have to jump down about, I don't know, 12 feet to get down to the little village. But it's like there's little houses and stuff in there, and it's just very puzzling. So I think that's what I forgot to say before. So we're leaving Tibet and going to, I'll say, the rest of China, and so we're sort of moving from west to east. So we looked at the Himalayas and then Tibet and so on. Um, this is called the House of the Fortune Teller. And what I did was I laid out all these things, all these structures I'm showing you. I laid them out on a piece of paper, and then I compared the paper to I mean, that's essentially what I did. And I looked at a map of what's in Asia, and the juxtapositions all worked. In other words, this house of the fortune teller is where Beijing would be relative to the Himalayas, relative to the palace of the Dalai Lama, and so on. So, in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful pyramids on the planet, if not the most beautiful pyramid. I've seen some in Egypt, and I've seen a lot in the Yucatan. And I think the rounded see this is the footprint of this pyramid, this temple is oval. And for reasons that would take too long to explain, I think that means it's a man-made pyramid as opposed to representing a mountain. Specifically, I think this structure represents, I believe it's called Coal Hill, Coal, Coal Hill or Coal Mountain. It's in a park in Beijing, and that hill is a man-made hill. They have identical footprints, right? This oval thing. In any case, there's a lot going on here. There's they don't I haven't climbed this thing, but if you think about fortune telling in Beijing, right? There's some history there. Let me go on. So let's leave Asia and go to let's look at a map. There's more going on in Asia. I just don't have good images of it, but there's a lot there. So let's go to a map of Europe now. So the part in red in the image on the left. So the map on the left is a map that I created based upon other people's maps and what I saw in Chichen Itza, and my contention is that the red circle on the left represents the red circle on the right, except they lined them up sort of differently, like in straight lines on the left, the Mayas. But yeah, I think that's a big part. That's the European map. Let's take a look at Ireland. There's not a whole lot going on with Ireland, and maybe there is, but I haven't been able to actually physically access it because it's out of bounds in terms of tourists. There's a little string, beyond which I'm not allowed to go. So here's the temple on the left is my theory is that it represents Ireland, and the part in the oval that's where the temple on the left and the temple on the right are separated. They are separated by about 10 inches, maybe 12 inches, and My contention is that the temple on the left represents Ireland. The part in the middle, I want you to imagine this under 2 or 3 feet of water. So that space in the middle would represent St. George's Channel, and the temple on the right would represent England. Well, England and Scotland. So the northern part would be England, and the southern part would, sorry, the northern part would be Scotland, and then England, the rest of it. So let's talk about England. On the Mayan map, England is referred to as the Temple of the Big Tables. When I was piecing this theory together, I was trying to figure out what big tables might mean. Actually, I was piecing this theory together as a novel, sorry, because I assumed all these things were coincidences that I was finding. So I was thinking about the Knights of the Round Table, that's a big table, so yeah, I'll make it that. And then it occurred to me, well, why don't I just look at an image of the big tables and see what they look like? And I'll show you now what they look like. On the right, we've got the big tables. That image is from the Temple of the Big Tables from, I don't know, 100 years ago. Well, probably more like, probably like 80 years ago, something like that. And there are several of those. Those are all gone now. At least I think they're gone. I think they're all gone. You, tourists are not allowed to climb the pyramids at Chichen Itza, so I have not actually been to the top of the Temple of the Big Tables. But they look a lot like Stonehenge, is my point. And England is known for Stonehenge. So my argument is that whoever laid out Chichen Itza seemed to have made a map using landmarks, a map using landmarks. So they're basically letting you know that in this part of the world, you're going to find, these kinds of structures.